Recruitment hasn't started yet, Suyi said as he looked at his 4 main barracks and began today's recruitment. The first to arrive was still the fallen Holy Hall, since it was his first barracks. Lilith and Ista were already waiting there. As hero units of the fallen Holy Hall barracks, they would definitely be present during recruitment. Let's go, Suyi said to Lilith and Ista, leading them into the fallen Holy Hall. Ding! Spend 30 gold coins for daily recruitment? Recruit, Suyi said expectantly as he looked at the fallen angel statue in front of him. Endless black mist surged, and tall figures appeared within the darkness. 30 figures gathered in the black mist. We bow to the God Emperor. 30 figures knelt simultaneously, their eyes filled with fervor as they looked at Suyi. Suyi looked at the clearly divided fallen angel troops, with one side being original sin fallen angels and the other pure-blood fallen angels. Everyone get up. Lilith, Ista, I leave them to you, Suyi said to Lilith and Ista. Understood, Your Majesty, Lilith replied with a smile. Ista nodded as well. Suyi left the Holy Hall of Fallen Angels and then went to the Source Dragon Nest. Why not the Supreme Agreement? Well, the Supreme Agreement is on the right side of Su Ye's Lord's Mansion. The Holy Hall of Fallen Angels is on the left, next to the Source Dragon Nest. Naturally, based on proximity, the Source Dragon Nest was recruited first. It looks like I need to adjust the position of the barracks again. Suyi looked at the locations of his 4 barracks. Today, he would recruit first, and then make adjustments later, following the order of appearance. Good morning, Pangelia. How did you sleep last night? Suyi asked Pangelia, who was waiting for him. All is well, Your Majesty, Pangelia said, opening her golden dragon eyes to look at Suyi. Suyi nodded and entered the Source Dragon Nest. Ding! Spend 20 gold coins to perform the daily recruitment? Recruit, Suyi said solemnly, looking at the dragon statue. A black golden light rose, and young dragons appeared within the black golden glow. Some of them were restless and lively. Compared to other troops in Su Ye's territory, these young black golden dragons were the most active and mischievous. After all, they were just young dragons, children. The light faded, revealing 20 ancient black golden dragons lying on the ground, their bodies trembling slightly under the pressure of Pangelia's dragon bloodline. Pangelia, I leave them to you, Suyi said with a smile. Everything as you wish, Your Majesty, Pangelia replied, growling at the newly recruited ancient black golden dragons. These little troublemakers, after being recruited, obediently followed Pangelia out of the Source Dragon Nest, but they were still quite restless, looking around everywhere. Suyi didn't mind. It's good to have some liveliness. It makes his territory more vibrant. Then, Suyi went to the Supreme Agreement area. Talus had been waiting here for some time. Emperor, Talus looked at Suyi with absolute reverence. Suyi nodded and said, no need to rush, Talise. Talise stood silently beside Suyi, doing whatever he commanded. Suyi looked at the futuristic building in front of him. Notification. Do you want to spend 1,000 source crystals, 1 seed of technology, and 10,000 gold to upgrade to the Supreme Agreement? Upgrade. Suyi looked at the Supreme Agreement in front of him, with a hint of anticipation in his eyes. The Fallen Heaven Holy Hall had been upgraded to level 3, activating its aura. What about the Supreme Agreement? What kind of aura will it unlock at level 3? Notification. Your barracks, Supreme Agreement upgraded. Current level 3. You can check the specific attributes yourself. Suyi watched as the shining building of the Supreme Agreement faded, then began to check its attributes. Name, Supreme Agreement Level 3 Faction, Order Recruitment, 30/30ths, Daily, Cost, 1 gold, 100,000 gold, Aura, Light of Technology Upgrade Cost, 10,000 Source Crystals, 10 Seeds of Technology, 100,000 gold. Wow, this price is insanely high. This level 3 unit is just like the Fallen Heaven Holy Hall. If it levels up to 15 or 20, it'll be unstoppable, Suyi thought with a mix of pain and excitement. Suyi looked at the level 3 Supreme Agreement and began to check what the aura it produced was for. Light of Technology illuminates the fire of civilization, doubling research speed and technology production speed. Nice, Suyi said, looking at this aura. 4 tech-based units. It's practically a god-level aura, doubling research and production speeds. Let's go, Suyi said to Talise, walking straight into the Supreme Agreement. He looked at the large glowing sphere in front of him, constantly flickering with zeros and ones. Notification: do you want to spend 30 gold for daily recruitment? Recruit, Suyi said with anticipation, staring at the glowing sphere. A white light rose and enveloped the hall. Figures appeared one after another in the hall. As the light faded, 30 gene-restricted soldiers dressed in combat gear appeared before Suyi. We bow to the Emperor, all 30 gene-restricted soldiers said in unison. Suyi smiled and said, although we haven't recruited hero units, 30 gene-restricted soldiers are still a good start. Talise and the others are your responsibility, Suyi told Talise. Yes, Emperor, Talise replied expressionlessly. Suyi left the Supreme Agreement and then went to the Holy Sanctuary, where Kaisha was already waiting. Master. Kaisha looked at Suyi with passionate faith in her eyes. Let's go, Suyi said with a smile, leading Kaisha into the Holy Sanctuary. As they looked at the angel statue in front of them, the system prompt sounded. Ding. Would you like to spend 20 gold coins for today's recruitment? Recruit, Suyi said calmly while looking at the angel statue. Holy light descended, and hymns echoed through the hall. With countless divine rays, sacred angels appeared in the hall. We pay our respects to the Lord of Heaven. 20 sacred angels knelt on the ground, their eyes filled with enthusiasm as they looked at Suyi. Suyi nodded. Stand up, Kaisha. The others are your responsibility, Suyi told Kaisha. Kaisha nodded. It was their duty as hero units. Every time new troops were recruited, they would teach them about the rules of the territory and everything related. When Suyi left the Holy Sanctuary, he checked his remaining resources. Source crystals, 3,600, gold coins, 15,690. Running out of money, Suyi looked at his source crystals. He had been saving and not recklessly upgrading the Lord's heart level. Otherwise, it would be even less. I hope today's void trial yields enough gold and source crystals, Suyi thought. If not, he might have to sell his resource cards. Suyi didn't want to sell his resource cards cheaply. The number of troops in the territory had also increased significantly. Fallen angels, 260, gene-restricted soldiers, 70, dragons, 40, sacred angels, 40. It still seemed too few. Not to mention forming a real army. Even a regular army was still a distant goal. A proper, real army usually consists of several regular armies, with each having at least 10,000 units. It is even possible that some ordinary army units reach tens of thousands. Suyi was still far from forming his own army. After finishing the daily recruitment, Suyi went straight to the feast hall. After having breakfast and ensuring all other units were well fed, he appeared in front of the Lord's mansion. Lilith, Talus, Ista, Pangelia, and Keisha, the 5 main hero units under his command, gathered together, each with their own army units behind them. The void trial is about to begin. Prepare for battle, Suyi's voice rang out. Lilith led the fallen angels of original sin directly to the front. On the left was Talus's genetic forbidden army, and on the right was Ista's pure-blood fallen angels. Behind them were Pangelia's black gold dragons and Keisha's holy angel legion. Most of these are still at the black iron level. Although they have improved after a day of nourishment, spiritual source lake black iron level food and wine. However, most are only around 3-star black iron. That's why Pangelia and Keisha are guarding their areas together. Lilith, Ista, and Talus are all at the bronze level. Today's main goal is to raise the newly recruited units to the bronze level first. Other units should also be promoted to the bronze level, which is the task for Lilith, Ista, Talus, and the other units that already reached the bronze level yesterday. Ding. Do you want to start the void trial? Start the void trial. Difficulty. Abyss, Suyi said seriously, looking at his territory. At the edge of Suyi's territory, countless dark red lights surged like clouds, constantly roiling. Repulsive creatures emerged from the dark red clouds. Deformed creatures, deep-sea dwellers. Most of them are between 3-star and 5-star bronze levels. Suyi sat cross-legged on the grass outside the Lord's mansion, completely unworried about any problems. For him, bronze-level monsters are no threat. Even the strength shown by Pangelia and Keisha, which he was worried about, is enough to defend their areas. Pangelia spread her 8 wings, her massive dragon body soaring in the sky. She brewed destruction in her mouth, then released it. Destructive dragon breath. Under Pangelia's leadership, The other dark gold dragons also spat out terrifying dragon breaths, sweeping across the entire wave of monsters. The holy angels shimmered with divine light, constantly judging the mutated creatures and deep-sea dwellers. The levels of the dark gold dragons and holy angels began to rise rapidly, with endless holy light and destructive power shining throughout Su Ye's territory. It's time to upgrade the territory. Su Ye looked at his land. His territory was still at the original level. Some lords who had upgraded quickly had their territories advanced by at least 2 levels. Su Ye's territory was still at level 1. Originally, this was because he had too few units, so he couldn't upgrade. But now, Su Ye had several hundred units, including large creatures like dragons. With such large units, the current territory size was clearly not enough. Upgrading was inevitable. However, I should wait until after this void trial to upgrade, Su Ye thought. After this trial, it should be about time to upgrade. It's not too late now. The main reason he hadn't upgraded before was that his territory was too large, which wasn't good for him. The only problem was that a bigger territory meant more places to defend during the void trial. Su Ye's number of units was always a big problem. His territory was too large, and there were always places he missed. That was the main reason he hadn't upgraded his territory. Ding. Void trial completed. Evaluating. Ding. Evaluation complete. No battle losses. 8,000 enemies killed. Rating. SSS. Ding. You received an SSS level Abyss difficulty treasure chest. Su Ye exhaled a breath of relief. An hour had passed, and the void trial was over. However, this invasion was twice as many as yesterday. 8,000 monsters, all ranging from bronze 3-star to bronze 5-star. The good news was that many treasure chests dropped. The bad news was that if he raised the Lord's heart level further, the monsters might be around bronze 9-star or even silver rank, which would be very difficult. So you needed to make some choices and find a balance. This time, Lilith and the others did not experience much change in their levels during the void trial. Lilith was only at bronze 1-star. Mainly, these monsters had gone to feed the newly recruited soldiers. Instead, they all advanced to bronze 1-star. Currently, all the soldiers in Su Ye's territory have reached bronze 1-star. Even the newly recruited soldiers today have been promoted to the bronze rank. However, this came at a cost. Lilith and others, who had already reached the bronze rank, remained stuck and did not progress. This was like wasting a day. It was inevitable. To upgrade the new soldiers, the existing soldiers had to make sacrifices. Right now, Su Ye was focusing on upgrading the Lord's heart. To do that, he had to give up the Abyss difficulty in the void trial. Otherwise, with this trend, he could only upgrade twice before the monsters in the Abyss difficulty would reach silver rank. Advancing by 1 major rank is manageable, but 2 is too difficult. The reduction in rank requirements and the suppression of rank gaps made a big difference. It's uncertain whether he could pass, but the SSS level Abyss difficulty treasure chest was definitely gone. Now, Su Ye had to decide whether to upgrade the Lord's heart to get new attributes or to steadily earn the SSS level Abyss difficulty treasure chest. He already had an answer in his mind. Back to the present. Su Ye looked at the corpses in his territory. Disassemble. Ding. You disassembled 8,000 corpses and gained 2,000 source crystals. 2,000. Not bad. Su Ye looked at the 2,000 source crystals he gained from disassembling, which replenished his nearly depleted supply. Then, Su Ye gathered all the treasure chests dropped from this void trial. A total of 1,000 bronze-level Abyss treasure chests. Ding. Do you want to open 1,000 bronze-level Abyss treasure chests? Open. Su Ye took a deep breath and watched as the Abyss treasure chests opened before him. Ding. You have received 10 advanced meat resource cards. Ding. You have received 10 advanced wood resource cards. Ding. You have received 10 advanced stone resource cards. Ding. You have received 10 advanced iron or resource cards. Ding. You have received 10 advanced copper mine resource cards. Su Ye looked at the items he received and fell into silence. They are good, but for now, these resources are not as valuable as gold coins and source crystals. These high-level resource cards can only be sold cheaply during the beginner stage. Selling at market price, few lords can afford these high-level resource cards. Copper mines are also here, Su Ye said, looking at the 2,000 copper mine resource cards he now has. The 5 types of resource cards from the bronze level chest each gave 2,000 cards, meaning each type accounts for 200 chests. High-level copper mine resource cards, like iron ore cards, each contain 10,000 units of copper. They are also considered hard currency and are essential materials for lords. Additionally, other troop types in the technology side need these basic materials to develop. Currently, Suyi only has the Gene Forbidden Army, but Suyi knows that in the future, he will be able to recruit other technological troops. If he can recruit heroes with research abilities, these materials will be useful. Suyi stored all the resource cards. He looked at today's biggest reward, the SSS level Abyss difficulty rating treasure chest, or rather, the biggest daily reward. Ding. Do you want to open the SSS level Abyss difficulty rating treasure chest? Open, Suyi said with anticipation, staring at the Abyss difficulty rating treasure chest. Ding. You have received 1 troop refresh recruitment. Ding. You have received 1 barracks upgrade card. Ding. You have received 1,000 source crystals. Ding. You have received 10,000 gold coins. Ding. You have received the Lord's exclusive first-level secret treasure, the God King Treasury. Suyi looked at the items he received and fell into silence. The Troop Refresh recruitment card, combined with the previous one, makes 2. The barracks upgrade cards are also 2. The gold coins and source crystals are okay, just average. The Lord's secret treasure is a special piece of equipment exclusive to the Lord. The levels of treasures are divided into white, cyan, blue, purple, gold, orange, red, multicolored, rainbow, 9-colored, and unique. Treasures are different from wonders. Wonders are related to buildings, but treasures can be found in any aspect. Among them, the Lord's exclusive treasures are the rarest. This means even the Lord can equip them. Suyi immediately checked. Name, God King's Vault level. Unique attribute, Lord exclusive feature 1. Copy, can copy any treasure weapon or equipment it touches. Cannot copy level 1 treasures. Feature 2. Upgrade, can increase the level of collected or copied treasure weapons or equipment by 1. Level 1 treasures cannot be upgraded. Feature 3. Projection, can project a copy of the collected treasure weapon or equipment, with the same properties as the original. Suyi looked at the attributes of the God King's Vault. Copy, upgrade, projection. It feels similar to the abilities of a certain Street Lamp King? Even more powerful. Ding. Bind the God King's Vault to your soul. Once bound, it cannot be traded and will completely disappear after death. Bind it. Suyi didn't hesitate. This is the first treasure he obtained, and it's a unique level. There's no reason not to bind it. Although it only has 3 features, all 3 are extremely powerful. Copy. I wonder if I can copy Lily and the others' weapons? Suyi looked at Lily and the others thoughtfully. Lily and the others all have their own divine weapons, especially Lily's weapon, which is essentially a unique item or their personal divine weapon. But whether it works or not, he has to try. What if it does? That would be amazing. Although a lord doesn't need to fight on the battlefield, having self-defense abilities is still necessary. Without self-protection, one would be too useless. Lily. Suyi called out directly. A shadow descended from the sky and appeared in front of Suyi. Her hair was still a bit damp, then instantly evaporated completely. Lily, let me see your weapon. Suyi said to Lily. Lily's eyes showed a hint of surprise, but she didn't say anything. Her war scythe appeared in her hand. Lily's special weapon, 7 Sins War Scythe. I'll try, Suyi said to Lilith, touching the 7 Sins War Scythe. The cold sensation made him feel a surge of greed, lust, and evil thoughts like a rising tide in his mind. Lilith immediately retracted the 7 Sins War Scythe. Suyi only just recovered and looked at Lilith with a mixture of fear and awe. Your Majesty, my weapon is a special one, infused with the power of the 7 sins, Lilith said slowly. Suyi licked his lips and looked at Lilith. He had just tried to copy it, but it was impossible. This kind of special weapon cannot be copied, not even from the king's treasury. I understand. I was just trying it out, Suyi said slowly, rubbing his forehead. Although he had just been affected by the original sins, it was only for a moment. It wasn't a big problem. The main reason he wasn't too affected was because Lilith was present. Lilith, you are called the fallen angel of the original sins. Each fallen angel of the sins should come forward, Suyi said to Lilith. Since Lilith's weapon couldn't be copied, what about the weapons of the ordinary fallen angels of the sins? Lilith nodded. Soon, 7 fallen angels of the original sins appeared before Suyi. Show me your weapons, Suyi ordered the 7 fallen angels. Yes, your majesty, they replied, and their weapons appeared in their hands. Pride, sword, greed, dagger, lust, whip, envy, knife, gluttony, hammer, wrath, axe, sloth, scythe. Suyi began to touch them. System, do you want to copy Pride sword? Suyi's heart leapt. Yes, copy it. System, copy successful. Pride, sword cannot be upgraded. Suyi was surprised and looked at the weapons in the fallen angel's hands, with a hint of curiosity. Then he understood. He could copy the weapons, but they couldn't be upgraded. It must be that after upgrading, these weapons become unique attribute weapons, which is why they cannot be Pride, sword cannot be upgraded. Suyi was surprised and looked at the weapons in the fallen angel's hands, with a hint of curiosity. Then he understood. He could copy the weapons, but they couldn't be upgraded. It must be that after upgrading, these weapons become unique attribute weapons, which is why they cannot be upgraded. He then copied each of the weapons. Suyi nodded, and then went directly to find the pure-blood fallen angel and the holy angel. He copied the original Dark Blade and Judgment Sword. As for the weapons of the genetic Forbidden Army, Suyi has not copied them yet. The current Forbidden Army has not yet fused with genetic evolution, so their divine weapons have not evolved. The weapons of the Forbidden Army evolve along with their fused genes. Suyi looked at the weapons in his hand. Sometimes they turned into long swords, sometimes into long knives. Each weapon had its own unique properties and features. For example, the Pride sword carried the trait and power of one of the original sins, pride. Not bad, Suyi said after playing with them for a while, then stored them away. Talise, Suyi called. Talise appeared before him. Emperor, Talise responded with her usual expressionless face, like a shadow, always ready at his call. It's time for you and the others to fuse your genes, Suyi said seriously. He had not decided what genes Talise and the others should fuse before. Now, his troops included not only the Forbidden Army but also fallen angels, dragons, and holy angels. Among the fallen angels, there are pure blood and original sin fallen angels. Talise, do you need anything to fuse your genes? And what about the others? Suyi asked directly. Emperor, I only need a drop of blood to fuse my genes. As for the others, they don't need much. I can transmit the gene factors to them, Talise replied softly. Is that so? Then it's simple. Lilith, Ista, Pangelia, Kesha, Suyi softly called out his 4 main hero units. A huge figure descended from the sky, Pangelia. Now, Pangelia had broken through to the bronze rank, and her body length exceeded 10 meters, with a height of 5 meters. She was truly a giant, but she was still a child in her early stage. Lilith, Ista, and Kesha also appeared before Suyi. Talise is part of the Forbidden Army. She is special and needs to fuse with the genes of other creatures, so she hasn't yet shown her true strength, Suyi said seriously. Lilith, Ista, Kesha, and Pangelia all looked at Talise, who was silent nearby. Although they had previously thought that Talise's strength did not match her status, they didn't pay much attention. But now, after Suyi's words, they realized that Talise had never truly shown her real power. Your Majesty, what do you need me and the others to do? Lilith asked Talise, a hint of suspicion in her eyes, but she still turned to Suyi for instructions. Talise needs a drop of your blood, Suyi said slowly. Okay, Lilith nodded without hesitation and pressed her finger to draw a drop of blood. A deep purple blood floated in the air. Ista, Kesha, and Pangelia also didn't say much. They each squeezed out a drop of blood. The blood was black like the void, sacred and shining, intertwined with dark red destruction energy. For different colors of blood floated in the air. Talise, Suyi looked at her. Talise nodded and stepped forward. Void engine. Talise's voice rang out. A strange power radiated from her, and the 4 drops of blood merged directly into her body. A brilliant light intertwined around her. Black-purple, pure black, dark red, and sacred colors wrapped Talise in their glow. Emperor, I need to sleep for a while to deeply analyze the power structure of my biological engine and adjust my genes for evolution, Talise told Suyi. Her voice grew weaker and weaker until she transformed into a giant cocoon and appeared in place. On the cocoon, there were 4 symbols. A reversed cross with the 7 deadly sins symbol, representing Lilith's power. A blood-red inverted cross symbolized Ista, the pure-blood fallen angel. A sacred cross represented Kesha, the holy angel's power. A dark red dragon pattern symbolized Pangelia, the ultimate dragon of destruction. Each symbol represented a terrifying power. Suyi watched Talise fall into sleep, paying no mind. "All right, you guys can go have fun. I have some things to do," Suyi said with a smile to Lilith and the others. Lilith and the others nodded. But before leaving, they all looked at Talith, who had turned into a giant cocoon. After all, they felt a familiar power from her. Or rather, it was their own power. This power came from them. If it weren't for Suyi, they would have immediately killed Talith because she was stealing their strength. This was something they could never allow. After Lilith and the others left, Suyi looked at his resources. He hesitated to use the recruitment cards in the barracks, and he was even more reluctant to use the upgrade cards. Currently, the only suitable barracks for refreshing recruitment are the Fallen Angel Sanctuary and the Supreme Agreement, both level 3. But that's too few. He was even more hesitant to use the upgrade cards now. Upgrading the barracks becomes harder as they level up, so using them now would be a real waste. "Let's wait and see if I can use them before the beginner period ends," Suyi decided. He really didn't want to use them now. But the earlier he upgraded the barracks, the more types of soldiers he could recruit. Thinking of this, Suyi hesitated again. He thought it would be more cost-effective to wait until the barracks were higher level, but if he used them now, he could recruit more units each day. Damn it, it's still too few. If I had more, I wouldn't be so conflicted, Suyi thought. Then, 2 resource cards appeared in his hand, 1 high-level wood card and 1 high-level stone card. "System, upgrade the territory," Suyi said. "Ding. Do you want to spend 100 wood, 100 stone, and 10 core crystals to upgrade the territory?" "Upgrade." As Suyi's voice fell, a white light merged into his territory, which was leaving him. His territory expanded outward at a visible speed. Soon it stopped. "Ding. Your territory, the Supreme Heaven, is now level 2. You can view its attributes yourself." Suyi looked at it. To upgrade to the next level, he needed 200 wood, 200 stone, and 20 core crystals. "Ding. Do you want to spend 200 wood, 200 stone, and 20 core crystals to upgrade the territory?" "Upgrade." The white light merged into his territory again, and it expanded outward at a visible speed. "Ding. Your territory's highest heaven level is now 3. You can check the attributes yourself." After hesitating for a moment, Suyi decided not to upgrade further. Now, the territory should be sufficient. Suyi checked the attributes. Name, highest heaven level. 3 area, diameter 1200 meters buildings, Stone Lord's Residence Wonder. Innate Spirit Source Lake, Advanced, Chaos Spring, Unique, Wine Pool and Meat Forest, Treasure, Hero Hall, Unique, Eternal Tower, Unique, Barracks, Fallen Angel Sanctuary, Divine, Highest Agreement, Divine, Origin Dragon Nest, Divine, Sacred Sanctuary, Divine, Warehouse, Wood X 9700, Stone X 9700. Upgrade, Wood X 300, Stone X 300, Origin Crystal X 30. That should be enough now. Suyi looked at his territory panel. The diameter had increased by 200 meters. That's the diameter. A level 3 territory should last a few days. Watching the ancient black gold dragon soaring in the sky, Suyi couldn't help but think that large-scale units require a bigger territory. It might not always be good, but it must be big. Otherwise, there's nowhere to turn things around. The ancient black gold dragon at the bronze level. Each individual has grown to about 6 or 7 meters long, around 3 or 4 meters tall, smaller than Pangelia. But with so many, 39 in total, he could recruit more tomorrow. You can't expect creatures like dragons to obediently stay in their pens like pigs, right? That wouldn't make sense. As for the wood and stone in the warehouse, they came from opening high-level resource cards. Each resource card contained 10,000 units of resources. 300 units were used, and the remaining resources couldn't be returned to the cards. They could only be stored in the territory's warehouse. Fortunately, the warehouse has been upgraded. Similar items can be stored infinitely, Otherwise, a 120 square meter warehouse wouldn't hold so much. That's enough. Today's task is complete. Suyi stretched lazily and walked